Welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn how to analyze qualitative data using Qualtrics. So you should all have imported this Blitzblend concept survey. And also, if I click here on data and analysis, you should have also imported the data for this. Now, this data is real. I'm kind of excited about it. I haven't even analyzed the data yet. I obtained this data through prolific.com. This is a really great site. You can easily connect it to Qualtrics surveys. Through this site, you pay participants to take surveys. You can pay them to do other kind of tasks. But I use this a lot when I need survey participants. Just to give you an example, here's the study that I used for this survey. I gave it a study name. I told people to take like 3 minutes to take this marketing survey, indicated it was a survey. I put the Qualtrics URL to the survey here. They like you to collect prolific IDs. So that's what this first question is. It just asks them to enter their prolific ID. You select how many participants you want, where you want them from. And they have a list of different pre-screeners. For this survey, we already talked about, I wanted individuals who exercised, went to the gym, and so I selected a pre-screen. These were people who had indicated that they worked out at least 60 to 150 minutes per week. So that was a screener I added. There's all kinds of other screeners you could add: political affiliation, religiosity. You could filter by state. You could filter by income, employment, family status, all kinds of things. It's pretty useful. And then I paid everybody 50 cents to take this survey, which doesn't seem like a whole lot. You're like, why would anyone take a survey for 50 cents? But if you're just spending a couple minutes to take a survey and you down a few surveys one at a time, you can eventually get some pretty good lunch money. Some people just enjoy taking these surveys. But yeah, that's how I obtained these 30 responses. So with that, they answered all the questions that we created for this survey. For this assignment, we'll be focusing mostly on Q4, which is tell us about your usual protein shake routine. What do you find most frustrating or annoying about it? So to get going, I'm going to click Data and Analysis. Let that load. And I'm going to click over here to Text IQ. This is where we're going to select the questions that we want to use Text IQ for. Text IQ, obviously it's IQ for text. So if there's any open text responses, this is what we're going to use to analyze those. So I definitely have Q4, which is an open-ended response, as I named it. Q1 is an intro. It's being included here because I ask individuals for their prolific ID. We don't need to analyze that. This is the other for when they selected annoyances with going to the gym. There were 5 responses there. We're not going to look at that for this assignment either, but we will definitely look at Q5, their thoughts for Blitzblend. And then we'll come over to Finish. And wait for that to load. This, by the way, will take some time to load. It could take, 5 minutes, maybe more. But as it says here, you could feel free to close this page and come back later. So after you have this loaded, I would just check in on it. And apparently it wants to update my data set for whatever reason. I don't know, you might get something like this. I don't think I've seen something like this before. But I'll click update. It says it could take less than 30 minutes. It may take up to 48 hours. Hopefully none of you are in that situation. I've never really seen it take 48 hours. Worst case scenario though, if you're experiencing something like this, what I would do is I would just start from the beginning, import a new survey through that QSF file, and then import the data set again into that survey. And sometimes when you go about it the second time, it works better that time. But I'm going to click update and see what happens. And that took literally seconds, so no need to get all dramatic. But anyway, when you have yours loaded, it should look like this. Here we have our responses going down. So these are all of the responses. And it shows a question here. This is for Q4. I can select this and go to Q5 and see the responses for Q5 as well. Now, I'm sure a lot of you loved the Excel that we used in the last assignment, how we were counting everybody that mentioned a certain topic, and then we were summing all of those up. What's nice about Qualtrics is that it's going to make this process easier for us. All we have to do is add topics to the questions, and then it's automatically going to count those and give us access to use those counts in future analyses. But let me show you how easy it is. So this is to Q4, protein shake annoyance. So this is what annoys them with shakes in general. This person says the mess it creates, the amount of time the preparation takes. So here I'm going to click, and I'm going to just say mess. They don't like the mess, and click check. And now I'm going to add preparation. And click check. And that one's done. And you'll see here it's added the topics to the side. All of your topics as you add them are going to be added here. Let's go to this next. I usually make a quick protein shake after workouts, just blending powder with water or milk. The most frustrating part is when it clumps up or leaves a chalky texture that makes it hard to enjoy. So I'm going to say texture. They don't like the texture. It's expensive to purchase. All right, I'm going to say expensive. Tiredness to go to the gym. Bruh. Not asking about the gym, we're asking about protein shakes. I'm going to say NA for not applicable. Next one, measuring the amount. The cleanup is annoying due to powder residue on the counter and outside of my container, and having to drink it swiftly before it settles to the bottom of the bottle. So here I'm going to click. We have another one for mess. So I can just select mess there, check it. Next one, texture, select. I'm also going to add a drinking, like just drinking it. It doesn't seem like a very pleasurable experience. You're just gulp, gulp, which it makes me think if the other one about texture should be added there. One cool thing is for these topics, I can come over here and select texture, and it shows me everything that I've added to that topic. I usually make a quick protein shake after workouts, blah, blah, blah. Most frustrating part is when it clumps up or leaves chalky texture that makes it hard to enjoy. Yeah, I'm going to click here and say drinking. They're kind of related, but can be kind of different too. Once I've done that, I can select all topics, and it'll bring them all up for me again. I'm going to scroll down to this next one, the time to measure, mix and prepare the shake. So timing, we'll just say time. This is interesting. This is someone else that mentioned measure. I think there was a person before that mentioned measure. As you go through these, you're going to pick up on different types of themes. That's just like a interesting. I'm going to click measure, add measure, I guess. But also, if I'm like, man, somebody else used that word, I can scroll up here and search a word. And look, I get measuring. All right. I guess these are the only two people in this survey that used that word, so maybe it's not as big of a deal as I thought it was. But then I can click back over here for all topics, get everybody. What I can do also is if I've seen some themes like the word mess, I'm just going to search this, see if anyone else uses that word. Here's another one that mentioned mess. So I'm going to say mess. I'm going to say, maybe I can search for clean. So this is one way to go about it too. These individuals are all talking about cleaning. So that's kind of related to mess. We'll be covering what to do if topics are related with each other in just a second. But for all of these, I can just click plus and let's create a new one, cleaning. Then I'm going to add that to each of these. And I'll go through and add it to the rest of them. So that gives you an overall idea on this first stage. What I'd like you to do is go through and continue this survey. I'd probably just click on all topics and go through it comment by comment. Again, there's only 30, and this is really easy, so it shouldn't take you tons of time. Keep in mind there are 2 pages. I guess it shows 20 comments per page, so when you get down to the bottom, you'll just need to click over to the next. Okay, so I've gone through this as well. There's a little bit of construction behind me, but just ignore it. It should be okay. But these are the topics that I kind of came up with. You probably have some similar ones. So there's like aftertaste, cleaning, drinking, expensive, fermenting smell, gunky blender, loud blender, don't want to wake people up, making the shake, measuring it, the mess, mixing. NA, I put people that were like, I don't drink protein shakes in this category as well. Ordering the shake, planning ahead, preparation, schedule, texture, time, travel, and wasted powder. Those were the ones that I ended up with. So you'll notice that some of these are related with one another. Some of them are very different topics. What we can do is we can add kind of parent topics. These topics are parents of smaller topics, and they kind of combine in a similar way. So you can go through and try to create these parent topics. Sometimes what I do, just for the ease, after I've gone through the data and I understand it a little bit, I kind of get a sense as to what the parent topics are going to be. I just pop over to ChatGPT. So I've given you the data in a different CSV file that will be more friendly with GPT or whatever AI we use. I'm going to use GPT in this case just for ease. I'm going to give GPT the following prompt. You are a marketing analyst. Analyze Q4, where respondents describe their annoyances with protein shakes. Do the following steps. Identify and label specific topics present in the responses. Provide counts for each topic. Group similar topics into broader parent categories and provide counts for those as well. Present the results in a clear, structured summary and include representative quotes from the respondents for each parent topic. I'm going to add photos or files. I'm going to select the Blitz Blend for AI. Open. Once that is loaded, I'm going to submit that and wait for the response. Okay, it's uploading. So these are some of the topics: preparation, convenience, cleaning mess, texture, mixing issues, no annoyances, not applicable, and there are those. Routine and timing, taste, aftertaste, cost, expense, and other miscellaneous. So yeah, those cover a lot of the topics that I mentioned earlier. Parent categories, so there's practical barriers, preparation, cleaning, mess, routine, cost, others. Sensory, with this texture and taste, and probably smell, we could include that there. No annoyances or not applicable. I think we can get more than 3 parent categories. I'm going to say, please organize into 5 total parent categories. And so for these, we have preparation and convenience, cleaning and maintenance, cost and access, taste and texture, and no annoyances not applicable. Okay, I like those. So I'm gonna go with these. So preparation and convenience. I'm gonna start with that one. I'm just gonna highlight it, copy it, go back to the survey, click plus to add a topic, and I'm going to say preparation and convenience. I don't know if the ampersand is going to become an issue in the future, so I'm just going to say and convenience. Then what I can do is I can click this little box here to place existing topics under our new topic. This deals mostly with time, effort, and hassle. I probably put the loud blender there, making, measuring, mixing, ordering, planning ahead, preparation, schedule, time, travel. So all of the, wasted powder, I would put that too. All of those go under that, so I'd click save. And this pops up here and it has a little arrow. You'll notice there's fewer topics showing here because the others have been added below preparation and convenience. So now I'm going to come over and cleaning and maintenance. Just going to copy that because I'm lazy. Clean up lingering odors, shaker bottles, blenders, cleaning any of that up. We want to categorize into this parent group. So I'm going to create topic, paste, get rid of that ampersand again. Place existing topics under new topic. Cleaning, fermenting smell, gunky blender, mess, and these ones are all in preparation and convenience. All right, I'm going to save that one. Next one we have cost and access. New cost and access. Maintenance, string, expense. I think it also included travel there too, but I don't know. Travel to me seems preparation and convenience. Cost and access, that seems more on the expense side. So we'll probably just end up with one topic here, so it's not necessarily worth a parent topic, but for the sake of things, I'll just save that. Taste and texture. Add topic, taste and texture. Place existing topics underneath. The aftertaste. Drinking. Texture. Save. And then I think the last one, if I remember right, no annoyance is not applicable. Yeah, that's just the NA. So if I close this, I can see every response has been categorized except for NA. What I probably could do is make NA a parent topic and then group responses as to why they were at NA. So there's one person that didn't even answer the correct question. They're still talking about their annoyances at the gym. And then there were a lot of people that said they didn't drink protein shakes, but I'm just going to keep it as is. So once you are done with that, you're going to come over here to review and publish. Click that. It'll show you every topic that you created, whether you've made changes, etc. So you go ahead and click publish, and then it'll load. You'll say changes in progress, and you'll see when it's done. Sometimes they like to stay at 99.99%, but I'm just going to refresh this puppy a couple times, and it is good to go. The indicator here is gone, but you also see here that 100% of the comments are categorized. And now that we have that done for this question, if we want to, we have counts here, but if we want to get a good look at the data and maybe build some simple graphs, I can pop over here to reports. click Create Report. I'm just going to name it Qualitative Report. Click Create. I'm going to click Insert. So we have, you can create different visuals for questions here. We have Q4, we have different hierarchies, level 1, level 2. Those can get a little bit confusing, the way that they're worded. I like it better the way it's worded in the embedded data. You created these as you filled in the topics and parent topics for the comments. So here I'm going to collect embedded data, Q4 topics. And here's all the topics kind of meshed together. I don't necessarily like that, but there's different options that you can do. For instance, if you're not a fan of the red, you can change it to a UVU green. It's not quite UVU green, don't tell marketing. And then you can scroll down, and let's say I want to go, let's do a horizontal bar, because that was nuts trying to read. You can scroll down and see that. That helps. The other thing that I would like to do, honestly, it drives me nuts when we have bars and I'm like, okay, is that 13? Is that 12? Is that 10? I don't know. So I'm also going to, down here on the bottom, click Show Data Values. That's nice. Choice count, that's not really needed there on the bottom. So I'm going to say go away. And then you can change the title. Q4 topics, sure, that's fine. Whatever. So these are the different topics. These are how frequently they pop up. But if you notice, this includes parent topics. If we're just showing topics in general, we probably don't want the parent topics here. So I'm going to remove some of those. So preparation and cleaning, convenience, cleaning and maintenance, taste and texture, cost and access. It's nice that they all have ands in them. So here's the topics, not including the parent topics, but we could create one for the parent topics as well. Since I already messed with the formatting, I'm just going to copy this and then Control or Command V will paste it. Then I'm going to click up here to change the data that's being displayed. I'm going to go click Q4 topics. And then I'm going to select this to change the measure. I'm going to go to embedded data, and we're going to do parent topic instead. Got most of the formatting, it just likes the red. You can change the default color too for these, but I'm being lazy. That looks good. Probably don't need it to be quite so long now that we only have 4 there. Now before I'm done, I might just want to insert a title. So I'm going to insert a little text area. I name it Qualitative Report, just like above, but hey, we've got a little title above. Gonna give it a good title. Maybe I'll center it. This gives you just a good idea of the type of things that you can add to this. There's all kinds of look and feel changes that you can add to these reports. And then it's nice because as the survey goes, the report will update. You can share it with colleagues. I use these reports all the time. I also wanted to show you something pretty cool. So with the student accounts, those are kind of the basic Text IQ capabilities that you have that goes with your account. I have a more souped up account. And what I've done is I've loaded the survey and the responses into that account. And I've categorized all the responses just as we did in the class example. But there's some pretty cool visuals that come with this. If you notice here, for each comment, it has a little indicator here. And in the last assignment, we calculated sentiment score using AI, and Qualtrics is doing this for us. It's going through and calculating just based on the words how much negative or positive emotion is taking place. It's not always perfect, like for instance, the mess it creates, the amount of time the preparation takes. I wouldn't say that that's a positive, but hey, You have a little gray diamond for neutral. If it's really negative, then it's going to have multiple down arrows. If it's really positive, it's going to have multiple green up arrows. But look, they're using the word annoying and inconvenient. So it's taking those words and saying, okay, this is a pretty negative experience. But then what it does is it has this visual, which I really like. These are our parent topics. I can scroll over the top and see the percentage of responses that are very negative or neutral. But the size of the circle indicates how many responses are in there for that parent topic. And you have the dark red, those are very negative comments. The light red are negative comments. Gray is neutral. Green is positive. And there's a dark green that's very positive. That, of course, isn't taking place in this survey, so at least that's working. We're getting some things that are positive but probably shouldn't be, and I can change those out. But this is very useful, and we'll go through each topic and based on the comments, give us a sentiment score for that topic, which we can then use for later analyses. So that's a pretty cool bell and whistle feature in a more souped up license for Qualtrics. For this assignment, what I'd like you to do is once you have this report done, just go to File, Export to QRF, and then it'll say Qualitative Report or whatever you've named it, and then just click Save. That'll save to your Downloads folder. And then when you upload the QRF to the assignment, you just click Add Drop Files. Here we are in the Downloads. I'm going to select the Qualitative QRF report, open, and then I'll click Get Completion Code for the completion code. And that should upload this assignment for you.